There we go. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I know you're not all quite here yet, but welcome to everybody. And we were just backstage talking about um, worrying about the North Carolinians and the Georgians and the South Carolinians that are all in this recent storm area. And I do want to make it known that I have heard from Scott Scorpio Moon, who is okay, just no electric, can't do anything. Nancy Blanton, I have heard she's okay, a Cronin's intuition. Ginger Faye has also let me know that she is okay, just no electricity. And I've also heard from Anya, who we saw yesterday in my show. She's hoping that she's going to be getting back her electricity by Friday. That's what she's been sort of promised. But if you all don't know, there was a dam break in the Asheville area. The bridges also caved. A lot of them caved in. I just want to say this is an ongoing sort of investigation out there, because they're saying how many people that they've found deceased, but they haven't found everybody yet. And there's another storm on the way through. So keep up your beautiful prayers and energy sending to those people in harm's way. Yeah, it is ongoing. It is. Thank you. Yeah, it is an ongoing situation. And we certainly, and I believe Denise Siegel, who is in Tennessee, was on with Irish Granny this morning. So I'm seeing that she's probably okay. And Tammy, who is also in Tennessee, says she's got everything, the electric and everything, but it's chaotic. Terry's also been informed from a friend of hers who's in that situation, that there's a lot of people walking around with weapons in her friend's area.
And the frightening thing is they haven't heard from anyone. They don't know what happened in Asheville. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how many casualties. They don't know anything about anything. There's just no communication at all. So
yes, it's frightening. Mary Thornberry sent me a couple of local newses that she has found in that area where people are being stopped from going in to help other people for some reason. And that you can only get to certain places by helicopter. And there was a man with a helicopter trying to do that, and he was stopped by a fire chief or something from doing that. And so it's just a lot of mess. And it just concerns me, because it is in states that aren't necessarily aligned with, let's say, FEMA or NOAA or some of the other things that in other states.
Or the president of the United States.
Yes.
The man who sits there right now.
Yes. He actually was asked yesterday why he hadn't called Governor Kemp and why he wasn't providing any information. And he said, I was just on the phone with him, and Governor Kemp said the same thing.
Yeah.
And he's been in touch with everybody. But the Orange Man, which it was down there using resources to be with him while they were dealing with all of this chaos.
And his, way of putting out false information.
Correct. Very dangerous information, and not true, absolutely not true information. So we know this. There have been a lot more crummy things going on. So yeah. And Diana had an interesting dream that she'll share with all of you. And it was the night of the storm surge and the movement of the storm up into North Carolina. So she'll do that. But Kim, I would love to do that for you, but this is our dream show today, our dreams, visions, and appearances. And so we're not doing any any Akashic stuff today, so my apologies, but this is where we draw the line for this particular show. I do have some people that have sent me some information to talk about today. But yes, Randy, find peace with no peace, assimilate disruptions. Absolutely. But we do not need to be frightened, but we do need to be alert. That's
Right.
about the way I want to say it. So yeah. Okay. Yes, Melinda, your governor is Roy Cooper. He's working with FEMA and President Biden. Yes, Melinda. Thank you. I did know that about Roy, and I'm happy to hear that he's doing that. And apparently, the South Carolina governor, who is a Republican, is saying the same thing, that they're reaching out and they're trying to help as they are in Florida and other places. So yeah, you've had dreams with water all week, Charlie. Makes sense. Makes complete sense. Yeah.
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 Kim.
So, yeah.
That's why the black rat snake, Kim.
Oh,
She was
okay.
on the Akashic and she's here now. So there we go. There we go.
Okay.
Looking for higher ground.
Uh-huh.
No matter
Wow.
where you are, the
Yep.
animals are all connected. So
They are connected. Thank you. Did someone say shenanigans? Midas Touch is always a good one to watch. Legal AF. I actually just watched something from Glenn Kirshner as well with Brian Taylor Cohen, and some stuff going on in DC with Judge Chutkin and that whole scenario. But Melinda, helicopters were going in and out today doing rescues. They're dropping pallets of food. Okay, that's good to know, Melinda. Mary Thornberry was saying that there was a guy that was volunteering to help people with his own helicopter, and he was stopped. He was told he couldn't do it or he'd be arrested. So, yeah, okay. The power of prayer really does help.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Diana, go ahead and let us know.
Okay.
Terry sent the pictures.
Sure.
She can.
Oh, I don't have
But-
the pictures yet. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Mm-mm.
You don't
I
have
can't
them yet?
find them. I can't. Are you sure you sent them to my email?
Oh, I sent them to Terry Renner Gmail.
All
Yeah.
right. You haven't gotten them yet?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Okay.
It must be stuck in the mail.
Well, I do have them on my phone. If you can't, right? Because I sent 5 of them, I think. So they
Oh, it could be
downloaded.
slow in coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can show us the picture you had anyway that you drew.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so y'all know that I had gone to rescue when the bridge collapsed in Baltimore.
Yes.
And while I was in this dream, I knew exactly. I was on the Viceroy, which is my ship, but I never piloted it. Whomever was piloting it was sitting next to me. And I am watching all of this devastation. And I'm looking at this guardrail
Mhm.
and this tumultuous brown water surging through trees, this
Mhm.
bent guardrail. The cars that I see, there's 2 of them. They are crossing over a wooden bridge, and then they end up on a cement highway with a
Mhm.
yellow line and the water flowing over it. And as I'm looking at this, I know that this is a 1930 Packard mint green, and this car is a 1930 Mercedes-Benz, the Deuce, the one with the pipes coming out of the side, and it's a big luxury car, and it's probably a limousine, right?
Mhm.
It would qualify as a limousine. And the thing is that the Packard was towing the Mercedes. So I'm looking at this and I say to whomever is in the ship with me, okay, those 2 made it out. Those
Uh-huh.
2 will be okay. And then we take off some more and I see the dam is flowing over. At that point, I still don't know where I'm at. In fact, I did this and then went looking for, okay, there's got to be a snapshot somewhere of where I was, because it always turns out to be that way. So I went looking at photographs online the morning after, and I found a couple. And then today, as I was going through YouTube, I found a film on, I think it was about 25, 30 minutes long, about Lake Lowry to Ashland and
Yep.
all of the devastation.
Asheville. Yeah.
And this was Asheville.
Yep.
And so let me see if I can pull up a couple of photos here. The first one I saw on the morning of was this. Let's see if I can make it bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is the guardrail.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I gotta go. I saw this. That's just God knows what.
Mhm.
Trees, somebody's pier, somebody, I don't know, somebody's foundation.
Mhm.
I saw a tree like this.
Yep. Yep. Seen a lot of those. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
This is the Mercedes-Benz,
Oh my
Wow.
word.
It's beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me find the ones that I did today. Okay, so this was also a part of what I was seeing.
Mhm.
It will have that guardrail
Because
right
the
there.
bridges are out and the dam did break. So
Yep.
all of these are just showing you that.
Yep.
Yep.
And then, okay, don't fight with me. Oh, this is, where's that one? Okay, so, sorry guys. This is like the left-hand view. And even though I know that car is not a Packard, I'm a Detroiter. Everybody's got old cars and we pay attention to them. It almost looks like a Packard coming around.
Yeah.
The front end almost looks like a 1930
Yeah.
Packard.
Yep.
And then, oh, that's my shield chips. This was another one that I know I had seen. This is
She
the
did.
wooden bridge
Yep.
that those cars had driven off of
Uh-huh.
and got onto cement from there.
Wow.
So
Yep. People can't get out. Anya says that the roads are so bad you can't drive out on them.
well, this was
And-
while
yeah.
it was still teeming.
Well, it was still having. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and I can remember that whomever I was sitting really close to me, and then I had to go rescue.
Sure. Of
I
course.
didn't draw that because, oh, by the way, that's the end of all of this book. I got this for Christmas.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Oh.
It's filled. And so that's a good place to start on the one that Allie sent me.
Okay.
Aw.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know these can be triggering. It's upsetting. It's very upsetting. But I'm going to recommend something that I would never have recommended about 5 years ago to anybody ever, because I am not a person who likes weapons, and I'm not a person that wants to instill fear in anybody ever. So please know that about this. But it might behoove us, if these things are going to be this way, and there are going to be people that are going to be ego driven, and you might want to have some kind of protection, is all I'm going to say. And
And
so,
a plan, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's just important for us to make sure we're protected. We don't need anybody coming to give us any harm. Water Lily, I see that somebody gifted you a membership. That's why you are a member. So
Yay.
sometimes people will do that. They will. What happens is if they gift a free membership to somebody, it just picks somebody randomly that's in the chat at the time. So that's why
That's
you
so
are there. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Um, did you see what Rossi said? I've been thinking of leaving Florida and I always thought of going back to New York. The last month I've been looking at Asheville and the whole Western North Carolina. I
Yeah.
wonder if it was an intuitive hit.
It seemed like a safe place to go. It did.
Well, right?
Yeah.
Because as we were talking earlier, it's the Sedona of the East Coast.
True.
So,
It's true.
Rossi,
Yeah.
you'd fit in
Yeah.
there really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anya was saying some of her friends are leaving to go to Ashland, Oregon, and from Florida. Whether, is there really a place that's safe? Once again, there's always something that could happen, of course. So I'm not, the last thing I would want to do is inspire anybody to be fearful. So that's not my point. But it does open our eyes to what we need to do to protect ourselves, to have water, to have what we need. And Terry had an aha moment herself.
Yeah.
Tell us. Yeah.
I've been looking at land up in Michigan and kind of playing around with really researching climate change. What is the best place to have land? And if I wanted to do like a small home community or have my family come up or my friends and and so I really researched it a lot, and now Asheville was one of those places.
I
don't think that we can look at that and think that. And so now I'm looking like, hey, if I've got 5 years out of it, or 1 year even, or 1 day, where would I have the most fun? Where would I have the most joy?
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Absolutely.
Northwest is high up there. I still like Michigan though. All that water.
Yeah. And there's a lot of water there. They say that it's important for you to be around water just because you can always boil it. It's all, you can finish.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And there's artesian springs everywhere. Mine,
Yeah.
I got one in my backyard.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, not to inspire fear, but think about these things. It's very important to understand that actually during the 1990s, I lived in Texas at the time, and they were talking about complete inundation of water all the way to this place or whatever. And remember what happened during Katrina when they didn't get hurt by the hurricane, they got hurt because the levees got breached. And that's exactly what happened in Asheville with the dam breaking. And so, we have to just be diligent and be aware. That's all, but not inspired by anything fearful. So anyway,
I remember talking to Deepak, or he mentioned it a long time ago, and just said, look for places where a lot of people are moving from or to, and they're going through a big transition. Those places are a lot of times the place where something will happen, something monumentous. Is that a word? Monumental?
Yeah, monumental. Yeah.
Monumental.
Sometimes we're called to be in places to help other people. I mean, that's what part of our contract. So I absolutely agree with you that's very possible. And yet, and I know, I have areas here that things could happen. They could. And I'm not, and I live around a lot of trees, and I've seen a lot of trees coming up from the winds. So, we just need to be aware. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for your vision, sharing your vision, Diana, even though it wasn't a good one. There was somebody else that wrote in the chat here as well that I wanted to bring up. All right. I hope everybody's getting ready to watch the debate today. That's why we're here early. Let's see. I'm going to take here it is. Earthstar says, she's in East Tennessee, been dreaming of flooding for a couple of years. In the dream, I tried to tell people 1 month ago, they stopped. I had no idea it would be there. Wow.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I really do believe we are pre-warned for, it may come out like in a funky dream, not necessarily like Diana's cars that she has. It could have been there were two vehicles, two people born in 1930 that
Right.
escaped before the real bad storm,
Right.
because everything is metaphoric at times in dreams
Exactly.
and visions. Yeah,
Or they're 30 years old, or they collect antique
correct.
automobiles, and they were able to get two of them out. So, that's also part of what my deep dive is. Okay, so why these two cars? Why these two cars? So I'm also
Right.
looking for information for that, to solve that part of the jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
Sally, that's why I came back to this part of Michigan, because even here it's too hot, but I wanted cooler.
Yeah. What happened after the live with me, Karen? I'm trying to see what you said before. It was when you were when Lily was gifted the when she was gifted the thing. Okay, sorry. And so Lori says it's true about being called to places. So many of us in the community are in Texas. That's very true. Heaven only knows how much light worker energies are truly needed there. That's the way I felt when I lived in Lynn, Massachusetts back in the early 2000s. They needed light workers there. They needed that whole community to be uplifted, and they probably still could use people there, but at the time that's why I felt I had to live, because there was a lot of creepy things going on around where I was living. It was prostitution, and there was a McDonald's next door that the manager was shot in the head, all kinds of different things happening. So
When you said heaven only knows, Deborah Kerr and Robert Mitchum just came walking through from that movie that they were in. They just like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. And probably Rossi, living in Florida, so many people were called to Florida, and you were needed there because of your governor. You really were, for that reason and that reason alone. But
somebody need to hold the light in Florida.
Hold the light. Yeah.
I was in Florida for 8 years and I loved it. But I was worried about the hurricanes, and we had young kids, and I was on the East Coast.
Oh, sure.
And,
makes sense.
I wanted to move back to family.
Yeah.
All
right. So I guess we'll move into some of our dream stuff. So I'm going to also put up a follow-up to a dream that Froxy Roxy had. She sent me, and I will do that. I'll have Terry do that. But Karen Doyle, you had a spiritual message in a dream. Do you remember what it was? Or you just, when you woke up, you knew that it was something that you just needed to know? If you want to put up anything more about it, let us know what it is, hon. I have Paula. She twice had a dream where I'm trying to climb stairs and the next immediate step is not there. So I am stuck. I wondered what the dream is trying to tell you. It might be it might be, what is the next step? That might be the very the very message that you're trying to have. So you may not be feeling like you can move forward because you don't know where to go, because there's not a step ahead of you to step onto. So wow. I pull a card, request. It's like they're wanting you to identify what your next step in your spiritual journey is, because walking upstairs is walking to your it's definitely a spiritual dream. It's walking up into your higher self, and your higher self knows what the step is, but your dreaming self is not communicating with your higher self. That's what I feel. But I'll let the other ladies also answer this one.
Are you ready, Diana, or you want me to go?
No, go ahead, hon.
Okay. I get, yeah, take a rest. Take a seat, girl. You're in the flow. It's like, we don't think about it. We get used to so many downloads, Paula, and you're like, well, I'm on this path and I want to keep going. And you kind of need some time to acclimate. And like Allie said, like, what do you want? Make some intentions. And look in the mirror. Like, what do I really want? What is it that I see myself doing? What brings me joy? And connects me with that higher self.
Brings you joy. Yeah. Should I request and try to connect with my higher self? Wouldn't hurt.
Well, the first card I got was the Labyrinth Walker.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how often do we get stuck in the labyrinth and not know where we're supposed to step next, right? Even when they're flat on the ground and it's something you've done a bunch of times, you get so into it, you can lose track of where you've put your foot before, where it should go this time.
That's right.
And it's something about reconnect as well.
Oh, I love that card.
I know. I mean,
connecting with her higher self. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you already know it's there.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Don't let all that other rhetoric stop.
Right. And you can ask in your before you go to sleep at night, you can say, could you please let me know what the next step is so that you could show it to me. That would be helpful if you don't honestly know what it might be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, she says she'll do a mirror exercise.
There you go. There you go.
That's always so much. It's all about us, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
I say that as a Leo, but it's true. It's all about us.
It is.
Yeah.
I love that you had that dream, though. For me, I kind of think in metaphors or analogy, and that's why I come up with what I come up with. But it is interesting that what we're talking about here is that we don't know what the next step is in our lives at this point, because everything's kind of a mess. It's chaotic for a lot of people. But I love Lori and others Amanda, every little thing is going to be all right. I love that. I do. Every little thing is going to be all right. There you go. Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that. I believe we've come this far. We just need to hang on,
Yeah.
Wear our seatbelt or our life vest. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Reverend Rick was on yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love him. Yeah.
Yes,
And he said something that really stuck with me, which I think I knew, but I'd never heard it explained like that. He said that anxiety is planning ahead and depression is looking at the past.
That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
And I was like, oh, wow. Being present.
It really makes a lot of sense, because usually we are anxious for something that might be coming, even in a good way. Like, oh, I'm so excited about going to here. Yeah. Or the other way, oh, I don't know if I can do this, So we have both sides of the anxiety issue.
Right.
And it's, that's awesome,
Yeah.
Sherry. Yeah. Thank you. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
Aww.
Who yelled in my ear in my sleep last night? Louise. Wow. That's interesting.
My God, Louise.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. Tyler's letting you know.
It might have been a pet. Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I get calm. I get that it's somebody that wants you to be aware of something, but they want you to be calm about it. It's not they want to wake you up, but they don't want to upset you. And so that's kind of what I got, but I'll let the other ladies have a.
That's why they're yelling in your ear.
That's why they're
Yeah.
yelling.
For sure.
Uh-huh.
I got.
So it,
Go
oh, you
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to pull another one from the dream deck too. So if you're
Okay.
ready, go for it.
I really feel like it's somebody that was quite close to you and they're on the other side. So that could be an animal angel, or that could be, do you have a partner that passed, Louise?
Ooh.
Because it's coming in that if they weren't in this lifetime, you know, somebody that was like your compatriot or whatever you want to call them. Words aren't very good today, but I get this box
Oh,
that you've kind of been in, but you are going out of the box. Like things are going to start moving upward, and it's like an energy vortex almost that you're going to be working with. Really interesting. Oh, and I got in the flow again, and I just
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
I got passion
Mhm.
as the lotus unfolds, right?
Right. Yeah.
But this just fits right in perfect because here we have riding that reindeer up high in the sky, and you are the where's that reflection coming from? The wonder hunter. So like Terry was saying, someone is telling you, go for it. It's opening up. And as she was saying, you're going higher, higher, higher. I'm looking at this reindeer going, yeah, you're going up higher. There's butterflies coming out of your hair. It's amazing. It's a great card.
Oh.
Great card.
So now I get, they want to take you higher.
yeah. Who was that? Was that Sly?
Sly.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I definitely think they want to wake you up. So there you
Well,
go. Yeah.
you know what? Your second word, wonder.
Uh-huh.
The wonder hunter.
Yep. That's right.
The climb, ride your pony. Who cares if he's got antlers?
All right. So Amanda had an interesting dream snippet. I was outside walking and I realized upon seeing a wide path and looking to my left, I realized I was in an enormous tree, like 2 city blocks in size. Wow. Inside of a tree. Oh. You know, I often think when they uncover stuff, they've done it in China, they've done it in Egypt. It's like they dig down below 6 feet or something like that, and there's a whole freaking city under there. It's amazing. Yeah. And so it might not even be impossible that there are trees growing under there, or there are other types of like there's supposed to be underground lakes or underground oceans or whatever. I love the fact that you looked to the left, because that's your spiritual side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amanda, do you have a special tree that you love that you connect with? Because they're just kind of showing me that that's a really good place for you to relax and retreat when you need to. Enormous roots and nodules of wood. Yes. Yeah. And okay. When you have all those nodules, that means that there's ley lines intersecting there. So sometimes trees are like our soulmate. I mean, they are entities, right?
Uh-huh.
World tree. I love that, Eliza. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that could be, I always look at, the root system and then the branches as they branch out, and that trunk, when we're living inside that trunk, it's like, it's a special in-between place, kind of like, ancestor tree, kind of like Saint Germain, and that the space in between, witnessing awareness.
Wow.
Exactly. And you're in the heart of it. You're part of it. The new growth, the old growth, the wisdom that comes from the tangled roots of all
Yeah.
the trees together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And here comes that lotus again with
Okay.
the goddess of grace.
Uh-huh.
Wow. She's
Right.
beautiful.
And there's a head that really looks like the tree.
It does. Yeah.
Pull it back, it looks like the world tree.
Mhm.
Surrender to it.
Yeah.
That was from the
Beautiful.
dream.
Beautiful.
Just give into it. You got it.
Uh-huh.
You got it, girl.
It's
Yeah.
interesting too that a lot of times frames are made from wood, right? And so housing has frames that are wood, and frames around a picture are made of wood. And I got reframe.
Oh,
So,
Ooh.
I just feel like that has a message with not only reframing it in your mind, but reframing it, I don't know, wood-wise or
well,
yeah.
it-
Oh, yeah.
this was on the bottom of the deck. The labyrinth walker.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're there
And-
again. We're all
Yeah.
walking the labyrinth right now.
Right.
Yeah.
The same thing with the last dream. It was also the same thing.
Mhm,
That on the bottom was the labyrinth walker card. So
mhm.
we're all doing
Yeah.
this upgrade.
We're all doing that.
Yeah.
And it's a circuitous path to get us to the center. Yeah.
Love that word. Say that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, circuitous.
Circuitous.
Cured.
Yeah.
Cured.
I
I
need
won't
to write that down.
Circuitous,
Worcestershire.
like circuit, but circuitous,
I love. Okay.
intermeshing. Yeah,
Round and
Yes.
around and around.
Sure
and
it
it
is.
goes
that's right.
out.
Oh,
The-
Leah, you're so funny. Didn't I say we need a show on trees? Leah
We
says.
Grace,
Yeah.
one of your favorite words.
Yeah,
100%.
beautiful. Thanks, Amanda.
Divine white light and divine grace.
All right. I want to bring up, hold on just a second. I want to tell you about the dream that we did on 8/20, because I want to remind you of it before we tell what's going on now, what happened to this in this dream, what she found out. In her dream on 8/20, Froxy says she had a friend, Nancy, who was 88. The last time she saw her during COVID. We didn't see each other during that time and drifted apart. It's been 8 years since I last saw her, so she must be 96 years old by now, and I don't know if she's still alive. But she had a dream that one morning, a few days ago, she saw Nancy in her place, folding loads and loads of white, pristine, sparkling laundry. That was all she was doing. And it was like she didn't know she was there. I didn't say anything, but it felt so real. And Froxy wondered if she passed and the white laundry was heaven. So that's where that whole thing went. So I got this yesterday from her. I thought I'd give you feedback on the dream we discussed, sorting out the laundry in a white sparkling room. Well, just this past week, I got a text message from her daughter informing me that indeed Nancy did pass on July 10th. She was 92. Her daughter also told me she had been diagnosed with dementia. Apparently, they had to put her in an Emory care facility about a year or so before. I last saw her when she was 88. She was originally from Minnesota and had moved her there, and services were there. When I had the dream, I looked in the obituaries for Shoreline, Washington, since that's where she lived, but the notice was put in the Seattle Times, which is why I couldn't find anything. So that just goosebumps.
I know. I just loved that. When I saw that, I was,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you know what? There's some validation there with that, all that white stuff, because that was what I saw with soul retrieval myself. So that really has helped me.
Right. Understand. So these precognitive dreams, and actually this wasn't necessarily precognitive because it came a month after her friend passed, but it was almost like Froxy was thinking about this lady. This lady picked up on it and said, I'm going to let you know what's going on. And the daughter did too, sending a message about the mother. Yeah. Fascinating. Just fascinating. I think sometimes we get those messages because we don't know if somebody's passed you. We haven't heard from them in so long. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Leah says there is a thin line between magic and dementia.
Oh, I believe that. I
Yeah.
totally believe that. That makes so much sense. And I really do believe that they know everything that's going on. But they just, there's no
Because
way
there's
for
so
maybe
much
they
of
dream.
it that they can pick
Right.
up on now, right? That they,
Right.
what
Yep.
is reality to the daughter may
Right.
not be reality to the mom.
Yeah.
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 I love that it provided her with closure. That's really what made me happy that, she was able to know what happened
Well,
after
and
all these years. Mhm.
I loved that the daughter was cognizant enough of your relationship with her mother that
Right.
you should know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, right?
It is.
Mhm.
It is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you, my dear Froxy, for letting us know and telling other people to pay attention in a way. You haven't said it, but paying attention to our dreams really does bring us messages that we are seeking. And we just may not know it at the particular time we're dreaming it. So, wow.
T.
Yeah.
Lynn grew up in Shoreline.
Ah,
Julie said she's
okay.
living in that land of 1 foot there and 1 foot here.
Uh-huh.
Like Leah
Yeah.
said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not too far from me, T-Lynn. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. Very nice. Okay. So I asked Karen to put up if she wanted to put up what her dream was. She said she got a spiritual message. It involved conversation with Source. I asked God a simple question. I got right to the point. I said, does prayer really work? And Source showed me a message by giving me a clear vision, rose garden and all. The roses were dead. When I prayed, he said, all the roses come alive as they did in the vision. That is how powerful praying is. The vision of seeing those roses come back alive is something I will never forget.
Love that, Karen. That's awesome.
Karen, when my mother passed, when my father passed, we went up to the cemetery. She had passed and had been buried. Dad was cremated, so we only were going to bury his urn. But the day of my dad's funeral, we went up, and it was in November, end of November, or close to it, and already had a hard frost out there, and there was a growing rose on that grave. We didn't even plant roses on that grave. So
Wow.
I agree with you 100%. It's amazing, but there it is. You can't really question those kinds of things. They just are the way they are.
Mhm.
So what a beautiful vision. Thank you for sharing that with us, Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Very nice.
The roses always remind me so much of the divine feminine too, of Mary.
That's true.
And
That's true.
Lakshmi. And it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. Just
Yeah.
loved it. Yep. This is a lot of us, Leah. This is a lot of us. We're kind of sneered at or treated poorly by those people who go, "Oh, that isn't possible," or "That's nobody would do that." And we say, "Yep, sure." So write everything down because it all comes around and it's revealing. Yeah. So it's people that have that vision, are visionaries. They can see things that haven't yet come to fruition, and they know they will. So.
Yeah. And what I find interesting, be aware of what you read about or what you see in the news sometimes, because it's interesting that it will come true a week later often.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just kind of keep an eye on that then you'll see it in the news and you're like, well, I just saw that a week ago. That's
I know.
weird.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's beautiful. I know that some of the chat tried to help Water Lily with this, but she's wanting someone to get out of her dreams. Get out of my dreams. Get into
And
my
into my
car.
car.
Not what you want either, but maybe they could get into their own car and you can watch them drive
Right.
away. Yeah. Somebody said to pray and tell them to go away. There's something that's not completed with this person, Water Lily. You have to complete it. Show them some compassion, even if you don't want them there anymore. There's a message coming in, and they maybe have not completed their association with you yet, even if you've had your association with them cut off. That's kind of what I would say.
Yeah. There's you can ask Archangel Michael before you go to bed too. I don't know if you've done that yet, Water Lily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cut the cord right on Anya. Yeah, definitely. There she is. Yeah.
Yep.
And here comes the lotus again.
Mm-hmm.
The goddess of grace,
Mm-hmm.
which just goes right with what you both were saying. And then from the dream deck, it is remembering what this person was to you, maybe in a past life or in your past of this life, since it sounds like you may know this person.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how grace of forgiveness.
Oh, you
Can't
haven't
forget,
called in
but
Archangel Michael. Yeah, he can cut them right out. Yeah.
Yeah. I get that they want freedom.
Okay.
But there's some sort of a cord there. I had that too, Water Lily. When my husband died, it was like 3 or 4 years. I couldn't get rid of the guy. I'd go to a psychic fair and they'd say, "Who's that guy behind you?"
Ah,
Like, oh
okay.
God, get
Okay.
out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took a
Of
while.
course, his name is Michael. Well, that's so interesting.
Of course it is. That's hilarious.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say hello, Anya. I'm glad you could join us. I know
yeah.
it's later in the show. We talked a lot about you and others that are dealing with what you're dealing with, and everybody sends you lots and lots of love. So there you
Yes.
go, my girl. Yep, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Anya.
All right. So Eliza says, learned 30 years ago that the eclipses week are always gateways for visiting spirits, and we need to check our homes for leftovers and help them back to their world. Good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I'm a believer in that they don't have to go to the other side necessarily, but they have to leave your space.
Yeah.
Correct.
So one or the other, move on. Yeah.
Move on. That's right. That's right. Pam says, I command you to leave and do not come back and do not bother me anymore. And I love that. Yeah. It's like, by the power of Jesus or the Buddha or whoever.
Yeah.
Or Archangel Michael. Yeah.
You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here.
You got to get out of here. Yeah. Time's up. Time's up. You had a vision of raining and swirling sparkles like glitter 2 nights ago. Immediately made me think of his Dark Materials series. Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, this is a good one.
It is? Okay. Okay. I think that a lot of people that are nefarious sprinkle glitter on shit. I sorry, that's just the word I got. In order to, to make it look like it's really good, but underneath it's not. And what I saw was an AI of the Orange Man walking in the water with a fire, a guy in a fire hat, like he was out there in the field doing the work. And it said it was so glossy, they knew it was AI. But you know how many people will believe that? It's putting glitter on the shit. That's what I get.
It's still a shit sandwich, right?
It's still a shit sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I get this vision when I am saying a prayer, when I am in a meditation or in a state like the closing prayer that I do for the Akashic record. And today there was a vortex. I mean, it was big yellow sunshine with all kinds of glitter floating around in it. And I don't always see that, but it was there today. So I find that it is interesting. Was that vision a prelude to the fact that you were going to be here to ask this question?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was definitely in that zone.
Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. I want to do that, but not right at this moment. Okay.
Oh, did I do that? Sorry.
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
It was me. Yeah.
I pulled alchemy, being alchemist, use that glitter to make something right. And star consciousness, and there you are walking into your star consciousness.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Watching rain at night in street light, but sparkles were colored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I always get a lot of metaphors about the rain in the veil. Like it's kind of where you can see behind the veil.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I get what Annie Lennox, I don't know, Here Comes the Rain Again. I get that in my mind a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best song.
Yeah.
She is the best dancer on the planet.
She is. Very good. Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Earth Star, I love this. You're describing what I can do here in this, because I've dreamt that I'm in I can even have a waking dream about being back in my high school bedroom and so on and so forth. And I am the older person watching my younger self. And the awareness of knowing what you didn't know then, you now know. And so I love that. And I love that it definitely wasn't your fault that your boyfriend rejected you. And it's like that unrequited love of teenage angst, Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
That is so beautiful, Earth
It
Star.
is.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
Yeah. I dreamed I was being hugged from behind. I shifted and looked over my right and saw younger, handsome man smiling. I said, "You're too young for me." He just laughed. Oh, goodness.
Well,
Wow.
who's over there, Rossi? On the other side of the veil that you were close to. And is this like a hug that would not be from, a parent, if you've got a parent over there, but also I have dreams like that, and I know an angel or somebody on the angelic realm that comes into my dreams a lot. And he's hot. I just want to let you know he's quite handsome. Those angels are beautiful.
Wow. Rossi, I get freedom. You should have the freedom to enjoy whoever, because our souls, they're not old or young. They are.
They don't have it. Yeah, right.
Right? Yeah.
And latch onto it, because it's the dreamer came out of the witch deck.
Wow.
That's that's your dream. Let go of the ego. Which is
there you go.
Is a thing, because it ain't. And ponder what plain old happiness is, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So it amazes me all the time.
I got synchronicity. So it's like as that planet turns, you're in that other dimension.
Who's zooming who? Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Oh my. This, I think, is in response to the dementia that we talked about. And
Yeah.
her father feels like he has one foot in this life and one foot in the next. And don't we all, in some regard?
Yeah.
And I don't mean it because of, dementia or anything else, but we do have that fine balance of being in between the or even parallel lives, which actually is brought up later here from Karen. So
Sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that, Julie.
The dream world.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her. When you've been somewhere, but I can't identify where it was. I know I went to Sally's house. I know what I saw, but I didn't know where it was.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Love that,
Leah, you
Karen.
were dreaming of colored strings like a fat pen that has many colors in it. Ooh, I know what you're talking about. I do. The big fat pen with, you push it down, you can be red, black, blue, green. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. Hmm.
So so we're talking writing implement.
Mhm.
What is the story you want to write? And what frequency do you want it to be in? Because frequency has color, notes have color, and
Yep.
and that also translates to language, letters. So it is write your own story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Sure.
metaphor with
Yes.
that.
And
Yeah.
make it colorful. Make it a colorful story. Because
And
our lives are
Martha-
not just black and white. Yeah.
Right? And Leah
Right.
with her flowers, and
Yeah.
it is a colorful life.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, like I feel like you're working with so many different modalities now, Leah. You
Mhm.
know, and they all have a different color. For me,
They
they
do?
do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
I agree
see.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry, did you, Lori says you had an experience during meditation with a foot in both worlds with Jimmy Carter. Did
I
you?
forgot all about that. Yeah. He
Okay.
came in our meditation this morning. I mean, front and center, really
Okay.
fast. And he was coming in and he was bringing in a bunch of past politicians. And
Oh,
just,
cool.
not all of them were presidents, some of them were
Mhm.
Congress people, but it was really interesting group of really powerful souls,
That's
really
awesome.
fun. Yeah,
That's
really
awesome.
fun.
Wow. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. That is awesome. All right. So I've got Rose, Karen, and Donna Spanier, and then we're going to be done for the evening. We will be back to our normal time next week, but wanted to be able to watch the debate tonight. And Callie Healer is going to be back. Send lots of love. Her mother fell, and so she was concerned about her. So send her lots of healing energy if you wouldn't mind. So Rose Blue says 3 years ago on November 17th, my brother passed 8 days after being diagnosed with stage 4 lung liver cancer. I couldn't get to Florida for the funeral. He visited 2 weeks after in a dream. We sat on a bench and said he loved me and I understood. Wow. I think he understood too. Yeah. Wow.
Rose Blue, that is such a beautiful memory that you'll always have in your heart. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not able to go to my brother's funeral. And I remember asking in an Akashic reading, I think it was, or a psychic reading, was my brother mad at me? And no, he wasn't mad at me, and he didn't like what my sister-in-law did. And I thought, okay, I know he's not mad. He's like, that's just her.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Most
Wow.
benevolent outcomes for us all.
Most benevolent outcomes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Karen said for 2 nights her son visited her in a dream, which was fun. And I firmly believe it was a parallel life. He is alive, but estranged, sadly. Wow. That's amazing.
You know what I do sometimes, Karen, is I bring when these things happen, I bring in a therapist. Like I'll go into that dimension and I'll bring in a therapist. and say, okay, you talk to the therapist, and then the person, sometimes it's a person that we have to talk to that has caused either the estrangement, or perhaps it could be somebody that else that was in it that needs also
Mhm.
the therapist, like an abuser even.
Wow.
But
Yep.
yeah,
Wow, that's a great idea. I get the word remember, and I'm just going to say that, you know, he wants you to remember what happened before, how much love there was, even though he is estranged. But yeah,
Well,
Diane, what'd you
the
get?
card from the dream deck
Yeah.
that I got was
Immerse.
immerse, which goes right along with remembering that love, immerse yourself in the love. And then I also got medicine
Oh,
woman.
wow.
wow, look how
Wow, wow.
beautiful she
Mama
is.
Bear.
Bear,
Uh-huh.
Mama Bear.
Bear.
Yep. Mama Bear.
So,
Oh,
you know, he is probably thinking about you just as much.
yeah, yeah. And I got record. So it's like you guys have done this in previous lifetimes.
Mhm.
Akashic
Yeah.
record. You've been together, and this is something that kind of is a way that you learn and reset.
Yeah. This is exactly what my sister-in-law was like with my brother. Yeah. So I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop. Yep.
So it was a healing dream. Yep, that's what it was meant to be.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
And you're the scholar on this one. This is on the
Yeah.
bottom of the deck.
Mhm.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah.
where
If you
is it?
can,
I
Karen.
know she's in
Oh.
there. There she is. That reminds me of you with all your writing, Karen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Love is the ultimate weapon, isn't it, Leah?
Oh.
Yeah. Just like
I love
Durga.
that. Very
Yeah.
nice.
For sure.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Rose wanted to just let us know the next day when her brother passed in Florida that her mom was going to go to hospice and put the phone up to his ear and say, "I love you," but he died. So I think he wanted to make sure you got the closure, Rose Blue. So I'm so glad that he came and you remembered that he did. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fabulous.
yeah. It is. All right. One more we have this evening. It's Donna Spanier. I had dreamed someone grabbed my wrists. In my dream, I fought off the person I was in my childhood home. A few days later, I ended a longtime friendship. I'm wondering if that was a connection. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You felt you couldn't be who you wanted to be with
Right.
this person, let's say. They're holding on to you and they're not allowing for you to be who you wanted to be. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Well, they had you trapped. There's like
Yeah.
handcuffs, right?
Yeah.
So you're locked in place. You can't
Can't move either way. Right.
Right. You can't do anything for yourself unless it includes me. I got to
Right.
be there for all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Your guides were really on your side
Yep.
Yep.
with that,
Yep.
taking care of you.
Yep.
So breaking free
Yep.
to be your own dancer.
There you go. She never
Got
truly
a
wanted to
tambourine.
succeed. Yeah.
My green tambourine.
Yeah. She didn't want her to succeed. And look what I got. I got purpose.
Ooh.
Friends don't do that to other people.
Mm-mm.
So her purpose for being in your life was not for you. It wasn't good for you. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I got awakened.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I see that a lot in readings lately, that we'll have old friends that kind of are saying, well, you don't really know that, or, you know, you can't do that. And,
right.
But you can.
Yeah.
Let me show you how much I need you, or you need me. Let me show you how much you need me. Right.
Yeah.
So that was what you were feeling.
Yeah.
Mommy,
Yeah.
is that card?
Too much.
Also,
Too much.
Yeah.
I like what Amanda said. Being grabbed by the wrist is a hold as opposed to being held by the hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She had a hold over you.
Mhm.
Whereas if you were if things were going to be okay, you would be walking hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you need both your hands to bang that tambourine. So
Right. Who was that? Buster Poindexter? She's
Yeah.
got a hold on me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good, Donna. I'm glad. Sometimes it's really hard to let go of those old relationships because you've sort of spent a lot of time invested in them, but we
Yeah.
really do have to make a choice for ourselves that's for our best good. And it sounds like, and Charlie says, warning, the end was near. Yeah, yeah,
Wow, Charlie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's very true. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you
What a
so much
joy.
for being here early. I will be back at 6 o'clock Pacific next week. I'm going to be on tonight after the debate with Marina. We're going to be talking about what it is we saw and what we think about it.
All right.
Yeah, thank you all for being here and bringing us all of your wonderful dreams, visions, and appearances. So
Yeah.
thank you,
That's right.
Terry. Thank you, Diana.
And this is for all of us, the princess
Okay.
of the original innocence. And there we are. We're in our bear suit in purity.
There you go.
That
There
is
you go.
beautiful. I love
It is
that
beautiful.
card.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I love this deck. It's the WITCH.
There you go.
Oh.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
Woman in total control of herself.
that's it.
Okay.
And that's what we all need to be in this
Yeah.
day and age. So
Exactly.
perfect. Thank you. Thanks,
Mwah.
everybody. Take care. Sweet dreams.
See the
Bye,